Today we are going to take our designs or our textures that we did yesterday, and we're going to apply them to the hand. So first of all, we need to divide the hand up into 8 sections because I have 8 textures here. So I'm going to that's one section, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down here is 8. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go back to my textures, and I'm going to pick one that I'd like to do. And you can choose to do the fingers first, or the hand, or the wrist, or the arm. It's totally going to be up to you. So I'm just going to pick one of these, and I'm going to go over. And now I am going to come in here and do one of the textures. I think I'm going to start here. I want to do a wavy checkerboard. And I'm going to come across like this. And then I'm just going to kind of like shadow in where I'm going to do, fill in the color, because I'm going to do that with a black Sharpie. Okay. And so this is going to be my checkerboard design. I'm going to go back and look at my other designs. I think I want to do the, maybe I'll do, I think I'm going to do the tree bark next. I'm going to start in the middle here. And fill that in. So I'm just going to work through and make sure that I use each one of my textures here, one in each section. So this is, we have 8 sections, so you should have 8 different designs. And then I will come back. Okay, so I have finished putting my textures onto my hand. I used all 8 designs that I had created. You can see that here in my arm and wrist area, the palm of my hand, all of my fingers, they each have a design. Now the next step is going to be to Sharpie everything, and anything that you're going to want to be solid black, you're going to want to Sharpie that and fill it in black. And also we need to add the shadowing effect here on the lettering. That needs to be black Sharpie as well. Do not add any color. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharpening. I will be using both my large Sharpie and my ultrafine Sharpie. I'm going to use the ultrafine on the smaller things and the larger one on the larger objects. You want to make sure that you trace everything with Sharpie that's on the paper. And I'll be back. Okay, I went in and Sharpied my letters, and I've added the shadow going off to the side here. You want to do that as well. Now I'm going to start working on my actual hand. Okay, I have gone in with my large Sharpie and finished tracing my hand and my ground. I'm going to come in with my ultra fine Sharpie to go in and to add these lines that we see here. notice I drew more lines towards the point here because that's where it's going to be the darkest. And so we are creating value using line. And I'm going to go in and add my lines here. A lot of lines close together in the corners. And then as I pull away, I kind of separate the lines. That way it gives the impression of value, dark to light. And I do the same here. And then slowly pull away. And so now you have these dark to light areas in there as well. Now I'm going to go in with my ultrafine and I'm going to trace my designs. And then I will be back. Okay, so as you can see, I am, going along pretty well. I traced everything with my large Sharpie, and now I'm doing my fines using ultra fine for the designs on the inside. I'm adding some extra things as I go along that I see I want to add to it to make it look more interesting. And I'm going to continue until I have the entire thing Sharpied, and I will erase. Okay, so I have traced everything out with Sharpie from the bottom all the way to the top, including my letters. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to erase everything, and then I'll be back. Now that I've erased everything, I'm going to go in with Sharpie and I'm going to fill in areas that I want to be black. One of the other things I'm going to do is to come in here and thicken up some lines that I want to be thick. I may just go ahead and use the ultrafine on that because I'm not liking how that's looking. Okay, so I'm going to curve that. So I'm going to come in just some of my curvy areas. Add just a little extra thickness there. Just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Anything that you can add to a creation that, adding your own little flair to it, your own little bit of design to it, is what distinguishes you from other artists and helps you to stand out in your own work. So see, that even looks better right there. And now I'm going to come in and I'm going to probably switch to my large Sharpie, and I'm going to fill in my checkerboard. Okay, so this is what should be finished today. This is the end of step 3. So you want to make sure that everything is Sharpied and erased, and then you want to make sure to take a picture of this in the graded sketchbook. And this is all you need to do. Do not add any color. So everything should be Sharpied and erased and ready for color. And that will be step